to the one and only Bill Kahn for the Pembrokeshire Sports Update. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Tom. How are you? Good morning, Abigail. Nice to see a bit of class in the studio for a
thank
change.
you very much. Well, I'll totally take that.
Now I'm going to be upstaged a lot by Abigail today, so in fact I'm going to throw Abigail straight. I'm going to throw Abigail straight under the bus this morning. Abs, what's your sporting exploits back in school, and what are you training to do at the moment?
I was very good at rounders.
Nothing wrong with rounders.
Absolutely not. I agree. I don't know what else I good at.
Hockey.
Oh yeah, I was very good at hockey. I was even selected. Not that I've told many people this.
Okay.
Selected to go to Canada to play. That's right. To represent
Wow.
the school. I know.
There you go. And with the Commonwealth Games, Abs, this weekend, you could have been there.
Damn.
Yeah, very impressive.
Missed the trick there.
You did indeed. So, Bill, it's been another busy and frantic week in the world of Pembrokeshire sport. What's been the highlight of the week for you so far?
Well, the Harris and Allen semi-finals are always big events, Tom, because you're just one step from the major final in Pembrokeshire in Cresselly later on in the year, last game of the season, 27th of August. And congratulations this week to Langham and Haverfordwest. They both got there by different routes, one easy, one epic game, starting with Langham on Tuesday and Loreni. Langham scored 198 for 2, which is big, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And Loreni battled their way to 186 for 7, so lost by 12 runs. I didn't see it because I was up seeing Llewellyn, but everyone tells me it was an epic tussle. For Langham, Joe Kiff had 63, and Steve Inwood, a very classy 92, used to play for Glamorgan, and Steve Mills and Chris Inwood at the wickets. Loreni battled back, though Kyle Marsh belted 10 sixes in his 125 not out.
Wow.
There were a couple of 11s in support. That's how major that innings was. But they went down in the end. A cracking game. Then last night I went down to one of my favourite places, St Ishmael's. Lovely evening, huge crowd there watching Haverfordwest and Branston, Division 1 and Division 2. Now I think, to be fair, we mentioned it yesterday, Branston were rocked by the fact they had their points deducted and Pembroke in the game on Saturday because of technicalities, things that they'd done wrong and didn't know about. But what made them worse, I think, was that the captain, Kristen Bennett, was suspended for one match on behalf of the club. I think that rocked them back on the heels. They weren't themselves last night, but all credit to Haverfordwest. Benfield had 64 and skipper Di Davis 48 in another big score, 184 for 7. So it set up a possible epic. But Branston were bowled out for 84. So they lost by 100 runs, which is huge. And I felt sorry for them. So they now go into the big game on the weekend against Burton at the top of the second division. So that was they were two big games, and now those two teams can start looking ahead to the final. Everyone wants to play there. And I got to mention the scorers there were Clarissa Lewis from Branston and Jane Cole from Carew, Haverfordwest. You kill me for saying Carew. And it was, if Clarissa had got there, it would have been her first ever final. For Jane, as a scorer, this will be her 20th final. That's right, 20th.
Wow. That's
She's been
incredible.
and she travels from near Pontardawe every week, where she lives and has lived for many years, to score every match for Haverfordwest. So great.
That is commitment.
That-
Amazing.
That's amazing. And then just thinking back there, Bill, so you had 190 odd for 2. What did I think this is, I've made it very clear on this show that I'm not much of I didn't do much cricket growing up. What do the other players do whilst you've got two excellent batsmen just having good fun on the crease?
Clap and cheer like mad, walk around the boundary, things that they do every week if they're going well. I suppose they stick to their own routines and rhythms, you know.
Yeah. And of course, I imagine that 100 score as well between Haverfordwest and Branston, the difference between the runs there. Of course, Haverfordwest not doing the best they've ever done in Division 1 and Branston doing relatively well in Division 2. Was that a surprise?
In theory, they could pass each other at the end of the season. I think Branston are quite strong favourites to go up with Burton, Haverfordwest in the bottom 3, so it could happen, you know.
It could happen. And then looking forward to Monday evening then, Bill, the Pure West Sports Show with Eaton Evans and Morris from 7 o'clock. Who have we got lined up to be listening to from 7 o'clock?
I met Tony Pennock, the Haverfordwest new manager, for the first time this week. Lovely fella. I had a long talk with him. He's offered if we want to come for a chat every week in preparation for the show, which is very nice. We also are going to have one of the boys, or perhaps both captains from last night's game in St Ishmael's. Fraser's talking to Simon Bevan from Stackpool. he's led his team. He travels from Cardiff every week to play for Stackpool, my old club, and they're in the final of the Alan Brown Cup next Sunday. So you're going to talk to him and one of the ladies from Pembroke Dock who are in the Clive Huxley Cup final. So there's plenty going on there as well. The other thing I ought to mention about tonight, Tom, before I forget, is that there's a big match for two youth teams tonight. At Loreni is now the traditional home there. The Ormond Youth Plate final will be held between Carew Youth and Narberth Youth. They were the losing semi-finalists in the Ormond Cup, so they always play for that. There's a nice trophy and they have good mementos as well. So that's a big night, and I know Loreni give the best of welcomes.
Oh, that's good. That's something to look forward to, isn't it? And before we talk about this weekend's sports offerings of what we're going to have, there's one young girl who's making waves in I'm going to call it a non-traditional sport that you would find here in West Wales.
Yeah, there's one in that and one in the Paralympics. So if I could mention both of those.
Please do.
Zoe John comes from the aforementioned Herb Branston, and she's a tough one. She started off in mixed martial arts. She plays a game called Australian Rules Football, which ought to be called Australian Very Few Rules Football, because it's a madhouse, that is. And she's played for Wales in that. And now she's become the first ever Welsh woman, so first from our county as well, to represent the UK at American football. And as we speak, she'll be on her way to Finland to play in the World Championships against the likes of Canada, the United States, Japan, all sorts of teams like that. I did an article on Zoe a couple of weeks ago on my website, and she's going to come on and chat to us on Pure West as soon as she's back, so that's nice. And the other quite remarkable story, Lily Rice has a wheelchair she uses. She's from a hugely committed family to supporting her. She was such a good competitor in skateboarding, if that's the right word, in her wheelchair. She's featured in films about her doing somersaults in the wheelchair. I've watched her doing it in Haverfordwest in a skateboard park. Lily is remarkable. She was a swimmer to start. Now she's gone back to swimming. And if I know that young lady, she's one of the most committed sports people I've ever had the privilege to meet, and a mum and dad who are both police officers from Tenby. She's in the Paralympics in the swimming. And what's lovely, Haverfordwest and some swimmers from elsewhere, the swimming club, all meeting on Sunday night when she's due to swim, with a huge screen in Haverfordwest Leisure Centre, and I had a nice invite to go along and cheer her along with them. So I'm hoping
that's amazing.
That. Yeah, so good luck to Lily, and certainly good luck to Zoe as well. I sent you a picture of her. It's great to see someone doing so well, you know.
Oh, definitely. In any sport, in any endeavour, someone to be recognised by the selectors from the national squad is always a good thing, isn't it? I think it's amazing. Of course, the opening ceremony for the Commonwealth Games was last night, and it was good to see all those Welsh flags and Team Wales go through. And of course, Pembrokeshire is represented in swimming, in diving, in judo, in the race walking as well. And I think we've pretty much had them all on the Pure Sports Show. So go back and have a listen. And then before you go then, Bill, what's your pick of the weekend? Where should people be heading out for some good quality sport?
Oh, crikey, where do we start? So the Bluebirds have their first home match, a friendly against Swansea City under 25s. That's at 2:00 tomorrow. I'm going to have a quick look at that. It'd be a nice chance to see them in the week. They beat Pontardawe 6-1 at Park Anisterw. Jordan Davis 2, Ben Fawcett 2, Jack Wilson and Jamie Veal. I was chatting to Jack down in St Ishmael's last night. He was telling me he was a brilliant header, but admitted in the end it was from a yard out. So, the ladies' cricketers continue to pace this week. And it's typical of the way cricket is going at the moment, Tom. In Division 1 in the ladies' cricket, Criselli 120 points, Burton 119 points. So very close there, 1 point. But Criselli have one game in hand there. And in the second division, Pembroke Dock 127, Haverfordwest 124. So how do you separate those?
Wow.
Yeah, and of course then, if we go on the weekend, we've got the cricket, with huge games. We say it every week now, don't we? They're huge games. I suppose the biggest is that Herb Branston are at home to Johnson. They thought earlier on in the week after playing last weekend, they'd be 18 points ahead of Burton. Now Burton are 2 points ahead of them. Herby against Burton, that is, on Saturday, 2 versus 1. That's at Herb Branston. I think there'll be a big crowd to watch that. And good luck to both teams. They both are in line for promotion, as are Whitland and Llechryd. So there's still lots to play for there. In Division 1, Carew were third, playing Narberth, who were second. So that's the sort of big tussle. Loreni were 8th, Pembroke Dock 10th at the other end, because one of them got to win that, with a big score, and that gives them a little bit of boost. Haverfordwest, Langham play Haverfordwest. Langham are up at 4th now, and in the final, the Harrison Allen. Fair play to Matthew Kiffey's revitalised them. Haverfordwest, who were 9th, played Neyland, who were 5. Never any love lost on the field with that. They're good pals, but that should be a game as well. And Cresselly, who were top, entertained St. Ishmael's, who were 6th. So there's tons going on, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and is there someone breaking away at the moment, Bill? It's been title season, but there is someone with a bit of a lead now, isn't there?
Yeah, Cresselly have opened up a little gap. I think it's about 16 points. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. But they're a very strong batting side. I think clubs almost feel we've got to score 250 to make it a game. They're a huge batting side. Strong. Their bowling, I don't think, is as good. They won't like me saying that, but it's true. And in the end,
Controversial.
well, I'm not just saying it as it is. I'm a little bit renowned for that.
Of course.
What you see is what you get, I'm afraid. It's not very nice, but it's what you
No,
get.
it's a good thing.
And Abs, then, just to wheel you back into this, you've been doing some long distance walking yourself, training for mountain.
Oh yeah, up the Brecon Beacons. Yeah, love it, particularly in this lovely weather.
Yeah, I love walking in Snowdonia. I've been up to the top about 5 of the different routes. When I was a little bit younger and teaching, my ambition was to do all of them. But I got old age caught up with me, I think, and family circumstances. Okay. But it's a great thing to do. You keep it up, girl.
It is. Thank you very much, Bill.
We tried to get mountain walking in the Commonwealth Games for you.
Really? Oh, yeah.
There you go. The campaign starts today. Bill, thank you so much, as ever, for giving us the Pembrokeshire Sports update here this morning on The Breakfast Show with O.C. Davis, Roundabout Garage Neyland. It's Feel Good Friday, Bill. What are we going to have after the traffic and travel here this morning?
Well, what about a bit of Everly Brothers? They are easily my favourite group. There's only 2 of them. And they're fantastic to watch live, I can tell you that. So one of theirs, all I have to do is dream. Is that one?
All I have to do is dream. Bill, we've got it. It's in there, ready to go. And if you're watching this on our social media or listening at 87.7 FM, it's Feel Good Friday. It starts now. Get your request in on WhatsApp 01437 764455, and we'll be going live on Facebook. Bill, as ever, a pleasure on a Friday morning. We'll speak soon.
Nice to meet you and you, Abigail. Take care.
Thank you, Bill. You too.
Bye-bye.
Feel Good Friday with Pems Paving, your one-stop shop